Alright, hey everyone, can you hear me? Can you see me? And let me know, guys, in the comments that you can see me well and hear me well. And we'll wait a few minutes. Hey. Hey guys, if you can hear me and see my screen good, so let me know so I can start with the live stream. In the meantime, I want to hey Raisin ask me or not ask me about my favorite game. Raisin, I don't have a favorite game. I stopped playing computer games many years ago, so I don't play. Esther, thank you for letting me know. So we'll wait a few more minutes, 2 minutes, and we'll start right away. In the meantime, I will organize my project here so we can start. Yeah, that's it. Great. And now I will open our inspiration source. Let's see if I can watch it from here. Yeah, great. So let's pause that. Yeah, let's see how many. So hey everyone, I want to start with this live stream, and first I want to begin with the inspiration for this animation that I created. And I see this kind of cool animation from the latest project of Ordinary Folk Studio. It's an animation studio, one of the best in the world, and it's my favorite. So I see this animation and I try to recreate it, and I come up with some good results. Yeah, and I would love to teach you how to do it. And while we will do it, while we create this animation, we're actually going to learn one of the important techniques in working in After Effects. And this is a technique, I don't know how to call it, but it's like the technique when we work from the end to the beginning, like we're animating backwards. And a lot of time when you have a design like this one, let's say this is our design, like this text is our design, and we are know its final position and its final look, how it need to look at the end. All right, therefore we can animate this, let's say, design backwards. All right, so in a few moments it will be clear for you if you don't understand what I'm talking about, but soon you will understand what I'm trying to say here. So let's see how I created this. Basically it's one pre-comp all right, with the text layers separated. On each text layer is a different character, different letter, and there is only two types of animated properties here. The first one is the position property, and the second one is the scale property. And then I offset the layers to create an interesting look, and then I bring it to the master comp, and I also created a scale animation for the master comp. You see, every 1 second this pre-comp scale down, yeah, and here from here till the end it's going to scale up every 1 second, and finally when the last letter goes to place it's going to scale down, and we got an adjustment layer with the invert effect on it to create a little bit more interesting look, yeah. And then I duplicated this pre-comp and I added to achieve this cool trail, I added an echo effect and the fill effect, and then I duplicated once again and changed the color of the fill effect and adjusted a few properties in the echo effect, yeah. And it's going to look like this. Let's see it one more time and start with the live stream. So to begin, let's create a new composition and let's call it, in my case I will call it main comp, because I already have a main animation comp. So, and we're going to work on a full HD format. So let's change it. 30 frames per second is excellent, and for the duration, let's do, okay, let's leave it in 10 seconds. And for the background color, let's pick the white background because we're going to use a black text. All right, let's press OK. Oops. Fix this. All right, and now first thing we need to do is to decide what is the word that we want to animate. So let's create the word motion. All right, so let's click here once and write motion. Let's double click on it and set the size to 50 and color it in black. And just make sure in paragraph the text is centered. All right, and now let's center it in the center of the composition using the align tool, and later we're going to center the anchor point, but for now let's leave it as it is. Yeah, and you can, for this animation, you can choose any font you want. Really don't matter, even if it's a thin weight or a bold weight, no matter. Choose some nice font that you love and let's work with it. And now we're going to separate the characters. I think there is a script on the internet that we can download that can separate all the characters automatically, but in our case it's very easy. We just need to duplicate this layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will duplicate it using Control D, of course, and I will turn on my cursor highlight and I turn on the keys so you can see what I'm pressing. And now in this area you're going to see the keys here. Alright, so we duplicated this, and now let's turn off all the layers, and then the first one let's leave only the let's leave only the first letter. So let's double click on it and delete every letter, the rest of the letters. Now let's turn it off and turn on the second one, and here we're going to leave only the O. Here we're going to leave the T, right, and here the I, here the O again, oops, yes, and here we're going to leave only the letter N. Alright, and now we can center the anchor point of all the layers using a shortcut control home. No, excuse me, it's Control Alt Home. Oh, you see, so select all the layers and press Control Alt Home to center the anchor point for all of them at once. Great. Now let's go back to the selection tool and let's move the layers. Let's move the first letter here, and now let's grab the last layer and move it here to the right, and now let's try to align all the layers at once. So pick first the M letter and then the N while holding the shift key, go to align, and now make sure its selection is checked, and let's click here. Great, it's going to align it from the first letter to the last. Now we can adjust it, you can design it as you want. In my case, I want to bring this letter here, I'll bring this one here. I'm moving the layers while holding the shift key. This is why they move in the straight axis. Alright, I messed up the letters here, so I just place it in the right place. Of course, you can move it using the arrow keys, and while holding the shift key and the arrow keys, it's going to jump in bigger increments, so it's nice one. Alright, so basically we're designing our text. Okay, of course you don't it's a animation scene that you will not want to do when you have a lot of text in your project. It's good, I don't know, for one scene or two scenes, because it's a very time consuming technique, but you can use it as a, I don't know, as a logo animation. Alright, so I'll turn it on the title safe action grid to see the center, and then I moved the text to the center, and now I will turn it off. Oh yeah, thanks. I will bring the keys here. Oh, actually, yeah. So Mahesh said that he don't see the keys, so I'll bring them up here. I think you're going to see it here. Let's see. No, it's not good. Alright, so I leave it here. Great. And now for the main event, using this technique. Oh, I messed up the lettering. Wait. This is always happening to me. Great. Before we are moving on, please guys don't forget to save the project. So click Ctrl S and save the project on your computer somewhere. And now the main technique, the main method here is to animate from the end to the beginning. So let's say I want this animation to be 8 seconds, alright? It's never, you can set it to 9 seconds or 7 seconds, never mind. And now we're going to animate backwards. So first we will choose all the layers and press P to see the position property, of course. And because we are good with the place of the letters at this point in time, because this is how we want to end this animation, so we will create the first keyframes for all of them at this point in time. And now we can go 1 second backward and try to move the letters in an interesting way. So we can grab this one and move it up while holding the shift key, but don't move it too much up, because this letter needs to do, you know, a sort of a path to go. So I'll move it here. We can zoom in a bit. We can move this one, let's say here. We can move the eye here, you know, and just try to create some randomized scene, sort of a scene each second. And we can move this one here. Great. So now we need to go back again, backward, 1 second backward. So now we're at second number 6, and we can create another scene, interesting scene. So let's move the M here. The N we can move, I don't know, here. The I can go, let's say, let's move the I upwards, and the T, I don't know, let's move to the left, and the O, we will move this O to here, and this O, and this O to here. And while it's very easy to, it's very good that we are seeing the path on each layer, because this is how we can know what we're already, how the path is looking like. So this is the end point of the M, this is his middle point, and this is this point. So now let's continue doing it again. So go to second number 5, all right, and try to create another some variation, interesting variation. Try to move the layers while holding the shift key. It's going to move them in the straight axis. Let's move this one here. Of course, this one we don't need to move it because we already moved it. So of course we always can move the time indicator to see what we're doing. Yeah, and if you don't like how these letters like colliding, so you can adjust the position of the letters at different points in time. But in my case, I don't care about it, because I know that later, very soon, I'm going to offset between those layers, and this is going to fix this problem. Alright, so let's do it once again. Go to second number 4, and let's do this time. Of course you don't have to do it 8 points for the layers. I just do it for you to practice it a couple of times. But in the case of in the example that I showed you from ordinary folks, they did this maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 times. Yeah. In our case, we will do more than 4 times. Alright, so we moved the N. Let's move the O. I want to move it here this time. And this one I will move, let's say, here. And the I will move up. The T I will move here. Yeah, and as much as you're going backwards, like to the beginning of this animation, you can move the layers a longer distance. All right, and so at the beginning we move them a little distance, and where we're going to the beginning of the animation, we can move them for a larger. It's going to create an interesting motion. Alright, and this one I will bring it down. Yeah, now we can zoom out a bit. Actually, we can set the preview screen to fit. And now let's do it one last time, because it's enough. The M, we'll set the M to be here. This O going to be here, and this O going to be here. The N is going to be here, the I here, and the T here. Alright, great. I think it's enough. We can see the animation. For now it's looking not so good, but it's okay. And now we can select all these keyframes and bring them to the beginning of the animation of the timeline. And now we can add scale animation, all right, for the letters. And to do it quickly, first we can select all the layers and press S to bring up the scale property. And now let's create the first keyframe for all of them, and let's set the letters Hubbard tells that it seems pretty simple. Very soon we are going to add the smears, so be patient. So let's scale this up to 200. And now go 1 second in the timeline and set it back to 100. And now let's press U to see all the keyframes and try to randomize the scale animation. Alright, so let's say the first scale animation going to be at the beginning of its animation, but the scale animation of the letter O going to start only after 1 second. All right, we are just trying to randomize the motion here. All right, so each letter going to start one after the other, like this. Right. Actually, I want the O. Let's see. Yeah, I want the O to start shrinking from this point in time, from second 3. Right? Great. And now what we need to do is make a much more interesting animation or movement, and we can do it of course use by converting the keyframe to easy ease, and then adjusting the handles in the graph editor. But as I showed you in my previous live streams, we can do it much quicker using the keyframe velocity panel. Alright, so first let's start with the position animation. So let's press P 2 times so we can see only the position property. Now let's select all the keyframes and hold down the Alt key. On the Mac it's the Option key, and double click on one of the keyframes. This is going to bring the keyframe velocity, and here we can set it to 95 by 95 and click OK. If we go to the graph editor, if you don't know what we did right now, if we go to the graph editor, it's like we used the speed graph and just moved the handles, this handle to this side and this handle to this side. Alright, it's instead of doing this, we did it in the kind of shortcut. Alright, and now let's press S to see the scale animation and do the same. So select all the keyframes and press Alt, hold Alt and double click on one of the keyframes. Set it also to 95 by 95 and click OK. Great. And now let's press U and create an offset for the layers. Let's create an offset for every 50 frames. That means that the first letter going to start, of course, from the beginning, but the rest of the letters going to start 15 frames after it. So we can move it here. Now let's move another 15 frames, and bring these layers here. All right, and so on. Nice. Great. Yeah. And now at the beginning and in the animation we don't see these layers because they start at this point in time. Actually it look nice. They kind of appearing suddenly in the scene, but if you don't want it, so you can just select these layers and expand them like this. That's it. Alright, now we can close all these layers. Let's make sure we don't select anything and press U to close the layers. And now we can crop all these layers by selecting them and press Alt and the left bracket. Alright, great. Now we can pre-compose all these layers together. Let's right click on them and pre-compose. Let's name it text main. Make sure both are selected and click OK. Great. And now we have this animation, but as you can see, this animation is moving very slow right now, and it's not a problem because we can, instead of dealing with the speed inside this pre-comp, actually let's expand the end of the layers as well. And instead of dealing with the keyframes here, we can just deal with the keyframes. We can deal with the speed using the stretch time function. If you don't see it, you can right click here, go to columns and select stretch. And now we can click on it and make this pre-comp to play very fast. Alright, and we can do it by setting the stretch factor to 50. When it's on 100%, you see the animation, it's 10 seconds, which is the original speed, original duration of this pre-comp. But when we set it to 50, you will see that the animation will last 5 seconds. All right, this is how you can know if you speeding things up or slowing things up. Let's say if you set it to 200, so it's going to last 20 seconds, which means it's going to be very slow. All right, so let's set it to 50. No, I think let's set it to 30, so it be very quick. And press OK. Let's expand this pre-comp and let's see how that looks. Great. This looks like this. I see that these two layers kind of move together. Oh, but it's okay. And now we can create the smear. For this, we can duplicate this layer by Control D. And now let's add a fill. First, let's add a fill effect because we want to change the color. Herbert say that there is a faster way to sequence layers. Yeah, of course, there is a lot of scripts that we can do it with the scripts, or we can of course crop the layers like this. We can crop the layers, let's say for 1 second, for 1 frame, and then we can right click on them, go to keyframe assistant and select sequence layers, and then click OK, and then we have all the layers get offset, and then we just need to expand the layers. So this is also one of the techniques, but because we don't have a lot of layers, I did it manually. So if you have another solution, you can let's see. Yeah, great. That's actually what I just showed. Alright, moving on. So let's turn off this layer and add a fill effect on the second one. Alright, and let's color it in a kind of let's say this blue color. And now let's add an echo effect on it. Great. And to check the echo effect, go to the point in time when the layer is start to move fast. All right, so somewhere here you see the letter start to move fast, and now you can adjust the echo effect. So to get a nice smear, we need to set it to minus 0.001. all right. And now you can set the number of echoes to 10. As if you set it to more to 10, it's going to slow down your computer. Yeah, and now we can see the smear. If you want the smear to start later, you can change this number to, let's say, 3. And now we're going to see a little bit more of the smear. We can try to set the echo to 5. No, let's leave it on 10. Yeah, actually let's leave it on 5, and the second one we will set it to 10. But let's check how this looks with the original layer. Yeah, this looks great. And now we need to change that to get so we can, you know, to fix this like an overlay look. We can set the echo operator to maximum, and now it's going to look you know, as a solid color. Great. Let's duplicate this pre-comp one more time, but before that I just want to check if there is a difference if the echo is above the fill or below. So I don't see the difference, so let's leave it as it is. And now let's duplicate this pre-comp with the echo effect and the fill effect, and enter this and select the new duplicate. And now let's just adjust the number of echoes of this layer to 10, and change the color to yellow. Great, and now we can see it. And one thing I did for this layer, because this one we will see it as a solid color, the blue one, and it's great. But this one I wanted to do like fading, like a fading color, because this is how it looks in their example. I don't know if you can see it from the screen, but if you will see the original project, you will see it that there is a small fading in the smear effect. So we can achieve it by scaling down very little the decay property. Alright, so let's set it to 0.9 and press enter, and as you can see, now it's going to look like this. You see? So you can actually set it to 0.8, yeah, and leave it like this, but I prefer 0.9. Alright, it looks nice. You see, we're kind of getting this nice smear effect. And now all we have to do, we actually, before duplicating this, we needed to create the zoom animation. So it's not a problem at all if you forget to create some animation for the first pre-comp. What we can do now, it's we can select these two pre-comps and just parent them using the parent and link function, alright, to the first one. And now when we scale or move the first one, of course the bottom layers will move with this together. So now we actually can create a scaling effect for this one, and I prefer to create first to start with the ending animation. So let's say you see when the N going to its place from this point in time, I want to create the animation from here. And to be precise, I can enter this pre-comp and I can press U on the last layer and see where its animation begins. So its animation begins here. So I will place the time indicator here, and when I go back to the master comp, After Effects will remember the exact moment when it's happening. So this is here. Alright, so don't move the time indicator. Just create the animation you want here. Let's say, for now let's just add a keyframes and then let's change them. So for now let's set the first keyframe, and now let's enter this pre-comp one more time and go to the time where the animation ends. So this is here, you see, exactly at this moment, and create another keyframe by clicking here. And now we can, play around with it. So let's say the last keyframe going to be 100, and this one, the previous one, going to be, let's say, 110 or 120. No, I think 130. Okay, to create a much bigger difference. Great. And now we can go every second, let's say not every second, but the same amount of frame from this one to this one. So let's say this is 10 frames, so let's go 10 frames backward here and set the scale, I don't know, to 120. Now let's go back 10 seconds more and set it to 110. 10 seconds more, and let's set it to 100. 10 seconds more, let's set it to 90. No, actually, yeah, 90. This one going to be this is going to be 100. All right, and the first one, let's scale it up so we don't see any of the letters, to create a kind of intro animation. All right, something like this. Yes, let's try it. Let's set it to 380, but I think it's too much. I think we can set it to 280, and now just adjust the first position of this layer. All right, so it can happen. This is the process of animating things. You don't know how it's going to look like. Oh, by the way, let's use this opportunity. I want to teach you how you can adjust something from inside some pre-comp and see it in the master comp. For this, you need to go to the master comp and lock it from here, and now you can double click on your pre-comp that you want to change, and now you can drag this panel here. Great. So all you will see here is inside the pre-comp text main, and here you will see the master comp. So let's say I want to change the intro of this letter, so I can zoom in. I will go, of course, to its keyframe that I want to change, and let's say I will move it here, and now I will see it in live, how it's going to look in the master comp. So now I can check my animation. I'll set the quality to quarters to see it faster. So let's go to the beginning of the animation, and I see that my new position, it's a good choice because I don't see this letter here. Great. Once we're done with that, we can close this panel and go back to the master comp. Great. Now let's press U to see the keyframes, and do the same with these ones. Let's select them and hold down the Alt key, double click on them, and set them to 95 by 95 influence of the velocity, and let's see how that looks. Give it a few minutes to render because we are using an echo effect, so this is the problem sometimes with the echo effect, using the echo effect. In the meantime, I'm going to read your comments. Let's see. All right, so hello to everyone. Alright, let's check the animation. Great. Let's place the time indicator here and press the N key to bring the end of the timeline here. And let's see it one more time. Great. It looks awesome. And now, yeah, it looks pretty cool. And now we can create the background. We need to create the background. So let's right click and create a new solid. Let's create a white background. All right. Name it BG and make it a comp size. And click OK. Let's add it below all the layers. And finally, let's create an adjustment layer and add an invert effect on it. Invert effect. Mahesh, in a second I will answer your question. let me just finish this one. So let's add this effect on it. Let's change the layer name to invert. And now let's just crop this effect or start this effect from the point in time when the pre-comp is scaling up and going down. All right, so let's start it from this point in time, and let's crop it to this point, and we can crop it using the alt and the right bracket, and let's see how it looks. Yeah, great. You can practice this method by creating an animation from back to the beginning. Again, with this type of animation, try to create a much bigger word with a lot of text, more text, and create an interesting path for the text. And maybe try to create one composition that it's going spread up and then closing, like we created right now when it's closing. But you can create something like in the example, this happening very fast, but if you can see, the first word is like opening up, and then with the use of match cut, they added the second pre-comp where the second word is closing up. Yeah, but this is the technique they used, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Mahesh, for your question, Mahesh asking me, do you have any group or podcast channel for your followers who are serious about motion graphics? Yeah, okay, of course, Mahesh. First thing first, you can always DM me on Instagram and ask questions, but I have actually a community in my official website when you can find my courses, and yeah, I can show you the community. For now it's very small. We only, I don't know if it's small, but I started this close to, I think, 1 year ago. Yeah, and this is the community where we can you can ask me any question that you want. You can share your animation and stuff like this. Also here I'm doing a live session as well. Yeah, so Mahesh, you can join Motionverse. It's for free. We already have more than 800 people here. Yeah, so you can join. If you don't know how to reach it, you can click on my on the link on my bio on Instagram and go to my website, Design and Motion School, and here you can reach to for the community, and that's it. And if you're interested, in advanced text animation and you want to learn the art of text animation from scratch, in the efficient way, you can check out this course. It's a 9-lesson course, very useful, very rich course. You will learn a bunch of helpful things about text animation and even paragraph animations. Yeah, that's it, guys. So yeah, Kamala Hassan say this is very easy method. Yeah, it's a very easy method, and in design and in animation every time that you create something, I don't know, very simple, it's always look cool. So, you know, they say less is more, so this is a prime example of it. I think this kind of animation looks very, very good, and it's very simple. Oh, great to hear that, Mahesh. Alright, guys, so if you have some questions, I can wait a few minutes. And if not, I hope you enjoyed this one and you learned something new. Alright, so let's end up this live stream, and I'll meet you in the next one.